Hello. I get asked a lot about how I watercolor on my embroidery hoops, so I just wanted to do a video just kind of talking it through, and hopefully Polly stays out of the way. She likes to try to drink my water cup. Um, okay, so I have never really watercolored before, so I just wanted to go with the cheapest one I could find because I didn't even know if this was something I was going to continue doing. So I got this. I chose the watercolor cakes just because they looked like they would be easy to use, and I think I got these at Joann's, so you can probably pick up a similar kind at any craft store. And then I also got these at Target. I liked the shimmery ones, and then also I got this one at Target too. This is, I just like that they seem to have more colors, and the texture is a little bit different than the other watercolor cakes. These are more, I guess, sticky or tacky. I don't know much about paint really, so I don't know. Anyway, so usually I try to use as little water as possible just so it doesn't run on the fabric. And then I'll just use the side also just to kind of test it out. Let's see, so black. I guess you can't see what I'm doing. I just kind of just to see where it's at. So it's not too wet, so it shouldn't really, yeah. Okay, so that shouldn't run. And then sometimes I actually do kind of like it a little, I guess, runnier, depending on what I'm doing, depending on how big the space is, and also if I want any special effects to it, like the sunrise or the sunset ones that I have done on some of them. I'll use a thicker brush, and then I always have a paper towel around as well, just so I can have a little bit more of a sunset effect, and I'll use a lot of water, so maybe something like that. But for the majority of my painting, I usually just use a smaller paintbrush so I can get in the middle of the lines. Let's see, I think I'm using one of these colors. So these you might have to use a little bit more water just to pick up some of the color. Okay. And you might have to go over the paint depending on how thick you want the color or how dark you want the color. But usually if I use a small enough brush and not too much water, I don't really have much of a problem. With it spreading. Let's see. So used a little bit more water on that one. Sometimes when it starts to dry, it might. So I just try not to use too much. And if I ever do, I might just kind of use my brush or the paper towel just to kind of soak up the color a little bit, and sometimes that helps. Let's see. Same with the triangles, I try to make them kind of small just so I can show how I paint in there. and you might have to dot it a little bit. And also when I'm trying to really get a lot of color in, oops, accidentally went out the lines. So really the key is just try not to have that much water on your paintbrush. And very rarely I might take some of the white if I ever go out of the lines and just kind of try to paint over it, which doesn't always work well. But you know, depending on what it is, especially if you're going to paint over it with a different color, it shouldn't be too noticeable once you paint over it. And with colors like the black one, you might have to go over it multiple times. And also if I ever have a spot like, let's see, like this one that has a lot of water in it, if I want to darken that, I usually do try to wait for it to dry, because if I continue to add more water to it or more paint to it, it's likely to spread. So like this one's already dried. So that one, I shouldn't have too many problems with that one. But it's just something I guess you kind of have to play around with and figure out how you want it, what type of effect you want, and because you never know. I mean, maybe you'll want something that's a thicker color like this one. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to fill in your embroidery designs, especially if you're like me and you really don't like satin stitches. I found that this is a great alternative to that. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks for watching.